Sure. Let's talk about FDMG for a moment. No,
Sure.
before we get to FDMG, you did come out at one point and say that your accounts were frozen, business and personal. What was the update on that? And explain to the audience a little bit. Explain to the audience a little bit what happened, your response to it, and where it stands now.
Well, we got debanked, but the bank kept giving us the runaround. First, they said we just looking into your account. I guess they wanted to see if I was mismanaging money. I'm assuming the struggle streamers contacted the bank and accused me of fraudulent behavior as they've done in the past. First, they said we was looking into your account, but you're not going to be debanked, right? And then the next thing you know, I get a letter in the mail saying I'm debanked. So I call them. I say, y'all told me y'all just looking into the account. Yeah, well, we didn't know. We thought they was, and we just got this letter from the higher-ups saying that we can no longer host your account, that we have the right to choose who we can and cannot. But then Donald Trump, or was it Joe Biden? It might have been Trump who signed this law that says banks cannot just debank you because they don't like you. You follow what I'm saying? But we were a black bank now, so I'm gonna let it be. But I think I did have grounds to sue because I think they did it because of my personal political views. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, and I was with that bank since I was in my first summer job at 14 years old. It just goes to show white folks don't care nothing about you. You feel me? So we got debanked. While we're debanked, the city of Wilmington tries to sell
we're going to get to that. I want to deal with the bank side first because, like you said, you were debanked. Some of the reports came out, and a lot of the content creators were reacting because for the first time in your career, you asked for personal donations.
Yeah, because I was debanked too. In other words, while we was the bank, we couldn't access no money. So my personal account is froze, and the school's account is froze. And I didn't know how long they was going to be froze.
Did they give you a reason?
I still don't have a reason.
To this
day. And guess what? They said they didn't have to supply one. Yes.
Wow. So you're debanked, and all of a sudden,
And the money froze with no promise of when it's going to be released. They gave me a date, right? And then that date came, and I still ain't got my money. So I'm calling around the lawyers and everything. And the one lawyer like, it's hard to get your money back from these banks. I said, what? He said, yeah, them banks.
It ain't hard to put it in now.
Yeah, but he was telling me, like, with them banks, you got to be careful. He said he heard of banks who held on to people's money for years, bro. You got to be careful with these banks, man. Yeah. He said the rules around finance give them a lot of leeway, bro.
I bet.
They can straight have you can be a multi-millionaire and be broke as shit messing with these banks, bro. Yes.
So you're debanked. Did you receive a letter? Did you go try to access your account?
What happened was I think I was sending my cousin like $50, and it said zero balance. That's what did it. I called the bank. Why is my thing? Oh, your accounts are not accessible right now. For what? We're currently reviewing them. For what? I don't know. Only central office.
Yeah, they're told not to say nothing. Yeah,
you feel me?
Yeah.
So I was in limbo.
Damn. So, and you know what? It's interesting because when that happened, of course, a series of events happened, but I just want to deal with the bank part because do you think when you came out and done that affected your cultural equity at all? When you said that because people weaponize that. We're not going to act like
they
people
weaponize everything I do. They weaponize what I eat, what I wear.
Yeah, but this time it led into some of the narratives they've been trying to make. It was bad time. It didn't bother you at all.
And I'm going to tell you why. Like, in order to understand me, the one thing people have to understand is I believe I was born to do what I'm doing. And because of that, there's a thin layer of protection around me. You feel me? If you've noticed, I've been through a whole lot these 16 years that I've been global, right? And I bounced back from everything, you see. And I think it's because them ancestors, man, they're real. You feel me? They're real. And I think that as long as I stay true to my mission, they got me. And I was told that in a divination. Babalabo said, listen, your ancestors are with you. The success of your school is going to be contingent on you remaining loyal and honest to your ancestors. Because remember, they are our angels, right? And he said the success of your school is largely contingent on the ancestors. They're going to decide when it opens up, right? So because I believe I was born to do what I'm doing, I mean, look, you're going to have a hard time convincing me that I'm related to Frederick Douglass by accident. Do you feel me?
You feel divine, this whole thing.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
We come, he's a speaker, he's a writer, I'm a speaker, I'm a writer. Before I knew I was, you follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
You could argue that our family might be the most impactful black family in American history. Think about it. You got Frederick Douglass. You got his two sons, Lewis and Charles, one of which was the sergeant major of the 54th. Make sure you go to AMC and watch Glory. It's out. You feel me?
Okay, yeah, bet. Y'all let's check that out as a family.
Yes. My grandfather, George, first black public school teacher in Denton, Civil War veteran, founder of Bethel AME. His father, my grandpop, Stephen, I come through their loins. You see, this is the cousin of Frederick Douglass and half-brother. And then you got me with what I've done in the 21st century.
Yeah.
I don't think there's another family in black history that got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 men who put in the work we put in. You got Malcolm. Malcolm's grandson did a little activism. I was supposed to meet him before he passed. Malcolm's father was a president for Garvey. He was a Garvey leader. I believe his grandfather did some work, right? But that ain't 6. And then you got the Malcolm girls, right?
Yep.
You got Dr. King brother, Dr. King father, Dr. King right? So Malcolm, they got a pretty strong lineage. King got a pretty strong lineage. You got a few more. Booker T. Washington got a nice little lineage.
So,
but I don't think nobody, even with them, I don't think nobody messing with the Bailey dynasty. We got them.
But even for this generation, you carrying the flag so high.
Yes.
Like with the King family, and it's like we know y'all there and we love y'all,
Right.
support
but
y'all.
you ain't front and center.
You ain't front and center. You just not on the marquee.
Me and Frederick Douglass is enough. Take us two. Who got two like that? You feel me?
And so that's what I want to speak about, right? Because what you have been doing over the last 16 years, and you end up being debanked. Does that worry you? Do you like?
I was bothered because I've been with the bank since I was 14, so it was kind of sentimental. I got my first summer job, my working papers with them. I'm like, damn, y'all just, but it was a good wake-up call because I already knew white supremacy. But when you go through it,
You're on a different level of war now, though. That's what I'm wondering, do you feel that? When you, because, you know, me and Charlemagne are real tight. He had got in a scenario before where some of the shit he was saying on Breakfast Club, they started to remove the insurance of his family and his, yeah, they started to do certain shit when he first got into politics. People don't know this, but they literally started to target Charlemagne in a way where it's like, shut the fuck up about that. Right? I'm asking you, when you are debanked out of thin air, does that worry you? Do you understand the level of fight you're really in?
I understand my level of fight. It doesn't really worry me because I've seen it all before with the ancestors. You know what I mean? Like, sooner or later, it has to come to this. You know what I mean? I just didn't expect it then. You know what I mean? It was off guard because I was on my way to South Africa at the time. So I'm like, damn, I'm not going to have no money in South Africa. You know what I mean? And I love South Africa, you know what I mean? So I was broke in South Africa, but everything worked out, though.
Do you think your rhetoric and what you've done over the last 16 years, do you get away debt-free with that? Do you think white supremacy allows Dr. Umar Johnson?
No, they watching.
So what I'm saying is,
and they do what they do. You feel me? They watching, they sabotaging, they do what they do.
the debanking.
I'm gonna go to Nat Turner.
Okay.
The Confessions of Nat Turner. I'm born August 21st, the day of the Nat Turner War, Haitian Revolution, George Jackson. Nat Turner said that when the Spirit appeared to him, he said, this mission, whether it comes rough or whether it comes smooth, you have to bear it. It also said to him, such is your luck, such you are called to do. And as I said, whether it come rough or smooth, you shall surely bear it. In other words, whatever happens, happens. You feel me? You have to be at peace with the mission.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. When you did have that scenario, because we're going to move to the school after this, but when you had that, did you notice that it was extremely loud? Like people were like I even heard Joe Budden, who came out and was like, yo, hold on. That doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe people don't understand the debanking process, but people were asking questions like, hold on, you don't have any money, you don't have another card, you don't have someone you can go to. Your first thing is to go right online when this kind of situation happened to you.
The person going online has done more to help black parents save their children from the school to prison pipeline than any black person in American history. There's nobody you can name. Educator, politician, pastor, psychologist, sociologist, who has saved more black children from the school to prison pipeline than Dr. Umar, and I've done it mostly for free. You feel me? So I'm going to my supporters. I'm not going to the world. The world got to hear it, but I'm going to my supporters and saying, yo, I need your help. And they started to help me. And as soon as they started to help me, Apple Pay debanked me.
So you actually started to get money coming in, and Apple Pay debanked you.
I can't use Apple Pay no more.
And you telling me you don't feel
and
like...
back to your question, they didn't give me a reason either. They're not required to. So I can't use Apple Pay no more.
That's heavy. Without reason, this is happening to you.
Cash App debanked me and debanked FDMG. GoFundMe debanked FDMG. All of this because of struggle streamer, cyber thought, interference, and slander. You got to remember, they don't want me to succeed anyway. So if your people come to us saying, shut him down, we clear.
Exactly. We'll go ahead.
Free and clear.
Yeah.
The niggas say.
Yeah. That's why I'm wondering.
And that's the sad part about it.
That's so sad.
They don't stop.
Yeah.
It's sad, man.
Well, they don't stop because.
But it ain't. But you know who I'm more mad at? I'm more mad at my supporters in Black America than I am at the struggle streamers and cyber thoughts and conscious, jealous personalities, because I shouldn't have to fight them. I do too much for us to have to worry about them.
Yes.
Their heads, not literally, but figuratively, their heads should already be cut off. They should have already been approached. His name don't come out your mouth again, or its consequences. The saddest thing about genuine black leadership, the Kings, the Malcolms, the Garveys, the Freds, we got to fight the system and fight our people at the same time. And that's why we get so exhausted, because when you come home, you got to deal with them.
Are you ignoring the fact, though, that genuinely some of your supporters, doubt has crept in because of the timeline of the school?
Nah.
You still don't believe?
Nope. And the reason why I don't, because my supporters have never stopped supporting. They still donating right now. You feel me? Most of our supporters are repeat donor. The doubt is the haters, people who don't matter. I don't care what they think.
They also are speaking about like that there's a section of supporters that are not so happy, that are trying to pull some legal moves on you.
No, they're not supporters. The people who are out there, first of all, I'm not under no federal investigation. That's a lie.
Okay.
Struggle streamer lies. And the people putting it out there are not supporters at all.
Wow. See, what they're peddling is there's a class action lawsuit.
The narrative is we're the supporters and we got issues. That's all lies.
Wow.
They are haters masquerading as supporters. Jealousy and envy.
In your heart, you don't believe there's any supporters that saying, Doc, it's been a long time.
Nope.
I love you. I believe you.
Not the ones who follow, because they've always been kept lock and step with me.
Yeah, but that's blind faith. And we don't want to.
It ain't blind faith, because they see the school and they seen the progress of the school step by step, including the setbacks. They've never been in the dark. You got to remember now, I give 300 speeches a year? I'm the most requested black scholar in the world, bar none. Most popular Pan-Africanist in the world, bar none. The #1 black conscious personality in this country, bar none. Most credentialed, most popular, most loved, most hated, most everything. So people get to hear me regularly. So the updates are, you could probably go to a Dr. Umar supporter, a true one, and say, give me the timeline of the school. They could probably tell you, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, the plumbing, the HVAC.
You know what? I rock with you. But what I'm saying is, I don't think that 100% of your supporters or 100%.
I disagree.
I think some of them are because
you may have to redefine supporter then, because maybe you're talking about Maybe you're talking about somebody who might have gave $10 once 10
Well,
years ago. But supporter for me is somebody who supports and consistently donates. They don't have issues because you got to remember, I got personal relationships with all my supporters. I know them. So if you come to me and say your supporters got issues, I'm going to ask you for a name. Remember, we recorded every donation. We know everybody.
Right.
So you see what I'm saying? And this is how I get the haters because they say, yeah, I donated. What's my first question? I need your name. How did you donate? Cash App? Check. When was your last donation? Because we got it recorded. Let me look you up. And then I look them up. You don't even exist.
And you know what? Another thing I want to speak to while I have
And then
you
when
here.
people talk about how long, right? That's an opinion, Loon. Remember, the school we building ain't never been built in this country before. This is the first school in American history, independent, African-centered school financed with donations from African people on every single continent in the world. Never been done. Too long, according to your government-sponsored charter school. That's government money. You can't compare this to this. Your home school, that's your basement. That ain't no institution. I saw a hater the other day, some hating out of New York, talking about how his homies built 2 schools or something. Where? In a home, storefront, basement? This is real buildings here. This is a real school, teacher's lounge, gym, cafeteria. You comparing an institution to a home school? And now, everybody got this new school thing going on, right? So-and-so opened the school. You know what their definition of school is? A room with some books and pencils.
Right.
A room with, it's like church, right? I got a church. And then you go, the church is in your living room?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
There's church and then there's church.
Right.
There's schools and then there's schools. We have a school. Right.
Let me ask you this. Do you think with everything that's being said, and also while you want to clarify something, because I do see one of your detractors, and again, I understand how this works, man. A lot of people, they form a confederacy.
Yeah, and they want to come up off your name too.
Yeah, because they make money from the YouTube thing, right? And so
I'm feeding like 20 families on the internet, bro.
Right, but I do want to clarify something because when they bring your donation amount in question online,
they don't know the donation amount.
I get that, and I see this from a lot of them, and I want to clarify that because they use my platform, they use one of our conversations, and so I want to clarify for the record. If there's an investigation going on or whatever's going on, I want to clarify this. A lot of people are saying that at a certain point you said that you had not took in $1 million.
We've never had $1 million at one time.
Now, right. But that's not what. All I'm saying is this: they got the dates wrong. So they're using a date of an upload date on YouTube, and it was upload for the second or third time at that point.
Okay.
So the
numbers I heard is preposterous. The date is
I've
heard 3 million. We've never hit 3, bro. I've heard 5. I've heard 8. I've heard 10. If we had that money, both schools would be done. What are we talking about? If I got that, bro, we already open and running, bro.
Yeah.
You know,
do you see why with everything you're going through, getting the school up and running? Do you see why people go to charter school route?
Oh, for sure. It's easy. It's government money, but they control you though. Remember, the school we own, Loon, was a charter school. They took their charter. They accused them of financial mismanagement and shut them down. I'm not giving no white man that power over me. They can still shut you down for some other fake stuff, right? Right. But it ain't gonna because I need some money.
Right.
We did this with. Think about this though.
That's why I was gonna ask you
black money, self-determination.
That's dope. That's why I want to know how important is that victory lap gonna be for you?
It's important because people heard me say what we need to do. It's something else to see you do it. Yeah. Because if you look at anybody else in the conscious community, and I say this humbly and with respect to them all, because they still members of the African race, whether they identify with it or not, none of them are building a relevant institution. You cannot name me anybody in the conscious community of the United States, I don't care what ideology, what religion, what they claim, who's building a relevant institution. School, bank, hospital, supermarket, manufacturing, distribution. You feel me? I'm the only one, and I'm the busiest one. So what excuse do you have? Now when the school open, Loon, the questions get different for them now. Because once they see FDMG open, Now they're going to go to him and say, look, bro, you've been talking as long as Dr. Umar. What institution you got? Because that ain't it. What institution you going to build? You? If Dr. Umar more popular than all y'all put together, he speak more than all y'all put together. He more credentialed than all y'all put together. If he can give us a school starting without a penny, what you going to give me? See, the reason they wanted to stop it, Loon, is because in their minds, I was already too big. He don't need nothing else. Now with this, it's a wrap.
This a big deal.
But I didn't do it for that. Because people be asking me, now that the school is done, all the renovations is done, we still got to pass inspection. That's going to be a whole nother fight. You feel me? But I'm going to go into a positive. Because, now they got to come through what they find too. Right? Check.
Yeah.
But what I have to tell people, because they stopped me in the airport, ain't you glad you shut up the haters? First of all, I didn't shut up the haters. They're going to find something else.
Yes.
Right? But I didn't do this for them. The focus has always been black boys, and that's what it's going to stay.
Right. Now that's a blessing. And again, I'm rooting for you. I always been rooting for the school. It's a beautiful idea. Couple different things. Before we pivot off of the accounts and things being frozen. Also on the Joe Budden podcast, Mark Lamont Hill said he reached out to you during that time. I just want to get your response.
We haven't spoken. I think he did text me.
Okay.
Shout out to Mark Lamont Hill, but we haven't spoken.
For sure. Also, in that moment when the accounts were frozen, there was another altercation where on the schools in Wilmington, Delaware, there were two papers. The papers were presented by the state and the city, I'm sorry. And you said that they were trying to sell the school from up under
without notice.
Simultaneously with your account.
Are you going to tell me that's a coincidence?
I'm asking you. I'm telling you, there's a war going on.
What do you
no man is safe
from outside?
There's a war going on outside that no man is safe from. And I'm saying you are actively, if I take you at what you're saying, you're debanked, you are actively in a war that it doesn't feel like you understand.
No. I understand.
Okay.
No, trust me. I understand.
Okay.
No, I understand.
Because I'm saying this is much more serious.
It is.
Yeah,
because that was one of the biggest pieces of evidence I received outside of being told by FBI agents I know that I'm being watched. That was one of the biggest pieces of confirmation I received that they're actively trying to stop you. They heard you got debanked and moved that quickly. No notice, Loon.
Yeah, let's get into that.
Email,
let's get into
no letter, no phone.
Yeah, man.
For 5 months, mind you, I was reaching out.
So
trying to deal with the vacant property registration fee.
Let's context set in here. So $72,000 was the number that I think it was. Was it
40 something?
Okay, 40 something. I thought you said they said we owe 72,000.
You know what? It could have been 70. It's been a minute now.
Yeah.
It could have been 40 for the vacant fee property registration fees past date plus the current utilities. Because you got to remember the water bills be crazy, and we're not even using no water.
Like even in here, the gas and shit is high. But tell me,
you're not using it.
Not at all. But
utilities is a big scam. Yeah, it's a big scam. But
because it's a collective type of thing. Yeah. So let me ask you this. So talk to me. Walk me through this. Number one, how the city got to that position to want to sell it, and how you missed whatever correspondence they said.
I didn't miss it. They just stopped communicating with me because they knew they was trying to sabotage me. I didn't miss nothing. You're supposed to get a 4-year waiver if you're a nonprofit where you don't pay the vacant property registration fee, which they jumped up from about $1,500 a year to like $7,000. Trying to destroy us through bleeding our account, right? So I call them up and say, yo, we nonprofit. Can we get the 4-year waiver? Your application got in too late. You feel me? So
this was before the letters, right?
We got the letter.
I'm saying, how do we even get to the point
We got to this because when I got the vacant property registration fee waiver, I asked them, can y'all retroactively apply the waiver to us? Because I remember, I was late. Can y'all just do me this solid this one time? Because that's a lot of money to be paying when we living off the people's money when we should have the waiver.
Yes.
And I was told they would get back to me. And I spoke to the person 3 times on the phone, and she kept saying, I'm going to get back to you. And I emailed her 3 times, and she never responded. And the next thing you know, they trying to sell the school without any notice. I think the proof is in, you feel me? I never dropped the ball. They stopped communicating with me on purpose.
Now, when you acquired,
you know what's crazy? I was supposed to be out the country.
Yeah,
they knew what they were doing, bro.
You would have been gone.
They were going to sell the school when I was out the country. When I came back, sorry, somebody else owns it. I didn't know it was that easy. And then I started talking to property owners. They say, Doc, they doing it in New York. These Zionists and other people, they getting people deeds and faking deeds. I said, they can literally take your home that you owned your whole life that easy? Yo, something need to be done about that.
Wow.
You should have to be able to appear in person. You feel me?
Yeah.
Bro, that was crazy.
Now, it's heavy. Now,
no notice stuck it on the door.
What I'm trying to understand is, you get these buildings. It was a charter school, no longer a school. So, did the city classify the vacant buildings because it's not a school?
Yeah, because it wasn't being used.
Right.
Right. So it's considered.
And
vacant.
so there's a fee associated with when you acquire these buildings, and they're vacant.
It's the vacant property registration fee.
Okay, and
so
that's
they
every
know that
year.
Somebody is still attached to it and working on it.
Okay.
Whatever. Now, mind you, all of our repairs have been done for 2-3 years now. Technically, we should have already been done. The problem is I decided to paint the building. I should have went for inspection first. You feel me? When I decided to paint the building and let all the volunteers come in, that ended up taking us over a year to get it done precise, right? In retrospect, Loon, I should have saved the paint until after we passed inspection.
Right.
We'd probably already be open with students right now.
Right.
That was a mistake I made.
Yeah.
I was so caught up in the look instead of saying, wait, time out. What do you need just to get your paperwork?
Yes.
Save the paint.
Right.
Historical error.
Yes. Do you think, looking back at everything that has happened with the school, and hold on, first of all, are you free and clear of whatever paperwork that they put on the door?
Well, remember,
is that taken care of?
Remember, we had to pay it
by a certain date.
And we paid it.
Okay.
In bulk. They were counting on me
not having it.
And I walked in there with the whole thing.
Yeah, as you should. You should. They think you
like this Negro.
Yeah. So do you feel as though that you've mishandled?
It bothers me because Wilmington is a predominantly black city government and bureaucracy. It bothers me that nobody in that city government cared enough about my project to not even make a phone call to me, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody know my number. You feel me? Like, damn, y'all that trifling? All y'all see this about nobody go. Even if you call your cousin up, I know you listen to Dr. Umar, send him a DM and bro.
It's crazy.
They were gonna
and then I was seeing
people, man.
It was crazy. I was seeing stuff online from like white supremacists and other people, like your haters, your detractors and stuff, saying, I'm gonna try to buy the building just to bulldozer it and think. And I'm saying, oh shit, this is more meaningful than just this little thing Dr. Umar is working on. You got white supremacists understanding that there's this black dude working on this school in Wilmington, Delaware. They were saying that I'm gonna buy the school, bulldozer the school, and just like, I think dude said, I'll put a toilet. Only thing gonna be there is a toilet. It was something crazy. But I'm saying that I didn't think that it garnered that kind of attention from white people.
But progress is always a threat. And you change nothing about a people until you change their consciousness and mentality. In the immediate future, it may not matter much to some people. But the long ball, we own it.
Yes.
Because this is just the first of many.
Yeah, that's the problem, right?
That's the problem. They're looking at the growth. If this pops,
if it works, it's a problem.
The momentum gonna be crazy.
Do you think that you've mishandled any of the processes?
Nah. The only thing that could have made this better is if the contractors we hired to do their work had integrity. We can't.
Would you admit if you had fell short somewhere?
Sure.
Is that hard for you to admit?
Nah.
Because of everyone watching?
Nah. The only thing that took time was we kept getting scammed by people we were referred to do the work. We got scammed by everybody. Everybody, bro. And then we went to the white people and they did the work. You know how painful that is, bro? To have your people take the money, not do the work, and you go to the white people and they knock it out.
Wow. That's crazy. There's also an idea out there that Dr. Umar should have did an online school. Dr. Umar should have went that way.
But if you want an online school, go open up one.
I'm asking you.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying them.
What's your feelings on that?
My vision is my vision.
Right.
Do you see that?
Yes.
If Loon says, I'm going to open up a studio downtown in the biggest building, who are you to go and tell Loon to put it in his basement? That's his dream, his vision. If you want a podcast studio in your basement, go put it in your basement. But you don't impose your low expectations on the next man. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm living for the future. I'm not living for you.
Do you understand?
And there's no proof that online schools
That's
are better.
what I was finna
And
ask.
if you go back to COVID, Loon, you should remember this. When our kids were forced to be at home and learn, it was a disaster, bro. Do you not remember that?
Oh, man.
Did you see the teachers? They say, yeah, he's online, but he got a separate screen watching porn while the class. Do you feel me?
And you
It was
really
a disaster.
really are trying to affect our boys in a positive way.
Now, did you see the suicide rate for black girls went through the roof during COVID schooling? Because the home is so toxic. That's where they get molested, abused. Look, online, are you after COVID? You got black people still talking about an online school. They not serious.
That's
bro.
a great fucking point.
Most of our kids are raised by single moms who got to work so many jobs that they can't be home to properly supervise them. What about the obesity in black kids, Loon? They're not moving. What you want an online school for? You lazy slop. You know what bothers me about it, Loon? When it's time to go to the club, we want the best. When it's time to get a new car, we want the best. When it's time to buy a house, we want the best. When it's time to party a vacation, we want the best. But when it's time to educate our kids, we will accept the bare minimum. Look at that, an online school. So your fat, lazy-ass kid can just sit there and do, you feel me? Come on, man.
I'm with you. Let me ask you this.
You know how much you can do with a real school compared to online? The only reason why online schools are popular is because they cater to lazy kids. And they cater to people who want to keep as much overhead as possible.
That's what it really is.
You ain't got no school buses, no school lunch, no class.
Nothing. Yeah. Just take the money.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Come on.
And that's what I was about to say. If you were really money hungry like
I
people.
would have did online.
That's what I'm saying.
You know how many people
You would
approach
be global right now.
You know how many people approach me saying you need to do this and I can help you, bro? Just your name? I'm like, y'all don't get it. That ain't the way we fix this. That ain't the way we fix this. Oh, I see them on the computer. No, they got to be in my face. They need to feel me. Drop me, give me 20 right now. You feel me? I tell people like, "Hi, are you sure you're going to be able to get enough kids to come to the school?" First of all, we starting small. Second of all, are you kidding? Once your son come to that school one day, if you try to take him out, he ain't going to leave. You feel me? Once he get a taste of what we doing in there, he ain't leaving.
I'm glad with everything being said about you and all of the detractors, it doesn't put your fire out.
No.
That's one of the most important things. Sir. Like even when Young Thug, I was around him when a lot of stuff was going on online, and I was, I personally know these people. Yeah, so it's like I like to see that their fire don't die, even when the controversy high, even when it's, I'm behind schedule, I'm running behind.
And you know why, Loon? Because I got too many elders who are counting on me to give them a victory before they leave here, bro.
Yes.
I had an elder. This past week, I heard from 3 elders, bro, who I never knew before, right? One brother called. He said, "Yo, Dr. Umar, I'm sitting here with my mom watching you. She 82. Put her on the phone. Dr. Umar, don't you stop. You keep doing. Don't you you feel me? I had another elder. She was like in her 70s. I'm like, why these elders hit me up today? And I said, I know why. That's the ancestors sending them to say, listen, don't you get caught up in that online hype. You got old folks here who need a victory before they go. They've been donating to that school. They need to see it open. They need this.
Yeah, for sure. And you saying you're about finished. You're about.
Oh, we done.
You're done. You're waiting on the inspection. Yes.
I haven't applied for it yet because we need to clean out the school. Now, you feel me? Now you got to
right. Make it got a little spick and span when they come through.
Yeah, I want it clean. I mean,
I would want
I
to
ain't
spick
gonna
and
wait.
span.
I'm not gonna wait for us to do the waxing. That can wait till after.
Yeah, not the waxing,
You
but
feel me?
I'm
But
just
just
saying.
sweep it out real good, enough for them to walk and not fall over screwdrivers and, you know what I mean, you know what I mean? We just want to clean it out.
Now, if you had to speak to a black parent, what would you say that your school is designed to fix that public schools can't for black children?
Public school ain't designed to be honest with you, you should need no convincing from public school. But what are we going to give them? We're going to give black boys the self-love that a black boy should have. We're going to give them manhood, leadership training, knowledge of self, and the ability to go out into this world and do anything they want to do with themselves. But they ain't even gonna have to ask.
Right.
Because after 1 month, they'll see a transformation in a month that they ain't seen in years over there. You feel me? The proof gonna be in the pudding. The proof gonna be in the pudding.
And so much as I believe in you, and you know I believe, I rock with you, and we've been friends for years.
My hardest job is turning away parents when the class size max, because I don't want to overburden my teachers. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Can't have but so many. I'm looking at 20, 25, right? I don't want to go 30 like public school. You feel me? And I know once we max, that's when it's going to hurt.
Right.
Dr. Umar, they trying to put him on. I can't. You feel me? And then that's when I got to tell them, you see that school across the street, the Frederick Douglass building? We need money to get it right. Once we get that up, you feel me? That's what I got to tell them. Move to the next one. That's going to be the hardest part of the job.
Right. Do you ever look at it and say, because your heart is in the right place, your mission is in the right place, do you ever feel like you under-engineered this?
What you mean?
You just didn't think it all the way through. With some of the, well, you do have certain things that's taking place, like the note on the door or little things.
That.
Well,
I don't control getting debanked. I don't control them not returning my calls and emails, deliberately ignoring me. I don't control that.
Well, there's also a side of it to where if they are ignoring you and you know that conversation has been had, that you take the initiative to know, I have buildings over there. Y'all reached out at some point and now y'all are ignoring me. Of course, you shouldn't have to. They should reach out to you.
They still ignore it.
What?
Yeah. What? I'm hoping we over that now.
Yeah.
But it's at a point now, because they made it kind of clear that they don't want me there with their behavior. It's at a point where, and I hope it don't go there, where I'm going to have to call all my supporters from around the world. I was going to ask you that. And march on the city. I hope it don't go there. But if they don't stop, I'm going to have to go there. I haven't met with the mayor yet, though, so maybe I need to go there first if this keeps up. I need to talk to him personally, because if he don't intervene, then we go to the streets. I can at least tell the media I went to the top guy. Yeah. Right? Yeah. I've only communicated with the mayor's chief of staff, and he was no help at all. You know what I mean? He didn't give me no answer as to why I was being ignored, any of that. So he was useless, craziness. Right? And he's black. Yeah. Right? And then the person under him lied and communicated with one of the struggle streamers and said that the city has been in constant contact with me. That was a complete lie. And I got with the chief of staff. I said, you need to talk to him. Not only is he talking to haters on YouTube, which I don't think is professional, he putting out misinformation. If it's one thing that they do that I don't like, aside from trying to sell the school, like if you say, what's the on? They share too much of our information with people who ain't got no business knowing. You feel me? And that's something I'm gonna have to look into with an attorney too as well, because I was told they're not supposed to do that. Like people should not be able to call a city and just get any information about you and your school that they want. You feel me? It's very, when they know you're the only one who interfaces with the city. Y'all know that. So why are you just talking to random people? I know some of that is hate. Yeah. Right? But legally, I got to look into that, because they are too free with my information.
Right. I got a couple different questions. With you going through that with the city, do you really feel in your heart that you can mobilize black people in that way to march on the city? And I don't mean a couple hundred. I mean like.
I think so. There's no way to know except to do it, but I think we can, especially if they know the school done, which it is, and they playing around with this permit, because this next thing is really going to decide, you feel me? Are they going to give us are they going to play a million games? I mean, I'm going to work with them a little bit, but once I get to the point where I'm like, you know what? They don't intend to give us the permit. They're just going to dog walk us the whole time. I'll probably consult with an attorney first. Definitely got to meet with the mayor. And then after that, we probably got to get a permit to march on the city, get the media involved, you know, and go, and then we might got to sue them. Yeah. Because we've definitely been discriminated against. So we
already.
Yeah. What they did with trying to sell the school, that was low. So we've been discriminated against already. So it may be trying.
If they would have sold the school behind your back, say you were in Africa, and of course we're in hypothetical land. If they would have sucked all the air out of you?
Nah.
Still got fire burning. They took the school. I'm still.
When they sabotaged Marcus Garvey's Black Star Line Steamship Corporation, which was incorporated in Delaware, he started the Black Cross navigation. You got to keep going.
Damn.
You can't put a price or a timeline on people's hope. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
You can't put a price and timeline on it. When the white people was attacking Garvey, black woman stood up and she said, why are you worried about our money? We giving this money to Marcus Garvey to build it. It ain't yours.
Right.
They say he ain't getting nothing from the government. Mind your business. If we want to give Garvey the money and he failed, then we decide if it's an issue.
Yes.
Y'all don't care about us. Why y'all worrying about if it's an issue or not?
Right.
Same thing I say to my haters.
Yeah, it's like, and again, I'm glad I pointed that out so they can, because they stand on the fact that on October the 20-something, 2024, Dr. Umar said that he didn't get up. It's like, bro, the date is wrong, respectfully. Because when you pull it from YouTube videos, bro, there's a level of information in the backdrop that doesn't show on the upload. When it really was shot versus when it was uploaded. You know, there's things happening that they're not accounting for, man. It's like,
I never paid much attention to them. The people who gonna be for you, and the ones who not. If you would have told me 12 years ago when almost 12 years ago when we took our first donation in St. Louis, April 12, 2014, if you would have said, did you think that your own people would sabotage your GoFundMe for the school, sabotage your Cash App for the school, sabotage your bank accounts for the school, slander you, vandalize the school? I had people call the utility company and try to get the utilities turned. You follow what I'm saying? This is why I don't answer the questions, Loon, because the questions are disingenuous. You know why? You don't ask the people sabotaging us why they sabotaging us, but you want to ask me why the school ain't open yet. That's disingenuous. Why am I asking Loon why your podcast ain't up when I know he's sabotaging Loon, he's sabotaging Loon, why don't I go have a conversation with the saboteurs? You see what I'm saying?
yes, yeah.
If there was no sabotage, that's a different conversation.
Right.
But not only did I have to fight the city, I had to fight the YouTubian struggle streamers, fake woke people. I mean, I remember one time we called the gas company. They said, somebody, you just called here. I said, no, I didn't. They was using my name, bro. Oh.
Niggas call
So
it
now I got to
gas
use passwords because these people, they do anything for a couple struggle streams, man.
And that's too much. And that's what I'm saying. To me,
that's why I said earlier, I shouldn't have to fight them. My people should take care of my haters for me. But we've never been there. Look
but
at
that's
Malcolm.
what I'm saying.
Malcolm was fighting and having to evade for his life.
But I think it's a growing concern, man. Not that it won't happen or it's not happening, but I do think, even with the Joe Buddens and people you may have stood next to, like, it's people that start to say certain things where it's like, yeah,
I don't pay it no mind.
So, but what I'm saying is, I think you don't.
Done what I done.
But listen, I don't think you resent it. I think you diagnose it. And if it's serious and if it's from our people, I think that at some point, bro, the sabotage shit starts to work. Motherfuckers start to actually buy into it and believe it a little. And when you
but that
don't,
ain't just happening. They've been doing that. They've been believing.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
They've been believing.
And you've been able to do this in spite of, like yards after the
in spite of.
Yeah.
The victory in spite of.
That's
bro,
all.
They've done everything they could. They tried to get our festivals canceled.
So I never seen none of it until the last couple of years. It felt like,
nah, this has been ongoing. Remember, they sabotaged the GoFundMe in 2015, bro. The first year of the fundraising, they got the GoFundMe shut down, man. When I tried to get the St. Paul's College,
we talked about that on our first episode.
They was calling down there sabotaging, bro. I think we underestimate how self-hating black people are. This FDMG campaign has really shown me post-traumatic slavery disorder, bro, on another level. And if I'm gonna look at this spiritually, Loon, I can make an argument. Somebody can make an argument that the Almighty kept me from opening this school this long because I needed more education on who I was dealing with when it comes to dealing with black folks.
Yeah.
Because if that school would have opened in 1 year, I think it'd be closed already. I would have trusted too many people and it would have destroyed me from it. Now I know better.
Yeah.
Now I know better.
Yeah, you got intel.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Now, because if you notice, my conversation isn't for the haters. Mine is for the supporter or the would-be donor or the person believing you that might be Just a
You
little
got
weary.
to show them now. It's time to show now.
Right. And so what I'm saying is when we're communicating, I'm being clear to the haters that this ain't for y'all. This is for the people.
They already know that though.
Well,
I don't even need to tell them that. Because I done said it so much. You know what I mean? They know I don't talk because I don't respond to them. That's what they really hate. You know what they want me to do? They want me to go on a struggle stream. Oh, ask me whatever you want.
Right, type
The
thing.
problem they got with me, Loon, is I never made myself accountable to them. They hate it. Why he not answering this? Because you ain't nobody.
Right.
You ain't nobody.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's
Now,
the
if
thing.
you do have a supporter, young guy or older person out there, and they wanted to follow your blueprint, or they have questions about the next school, can you confidently say it won't take 12 years for the next?
I can't because I don't know what the future holds. I don't know what.
But with all the intel and information you got along the way, I would say you should be more efficient in doing this the next time.
Oh, there's mistakes that won't be made because I now know how treacherous. Before this, Loon, you couldn't have told me somebody would take a check for tens of thousands of dollars to do a job, to open for a school for black kids that's being funded by the community, and they black themselves. You couldn't have told me they could take that check and don't finish the job. Do you feel me? And they came highly referred. You feel me? These ain't people up. You couldn't have told me that, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, this was times where I had my gun in my hand like, yo, I should go blow his mother effing brains out, man. That's the people's money you just stole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had to eat it. It was painful.
I couldn't do it.
It was
I
painful.
couldn't do it. I ain't eating nothing. And it's clear. In this industry, they know that boy don't eat. I don't play like I come from zero to hero. So I don't play the same games. I don't negotiate with terrorists, right? I'm telling you, you mess with my money or you steal from me, there's a problem to go with that. I'm telling you that. And I'm sorry. That's just how I'm wired. With you in the school, though, I think you're in a good spot. I hope the school opens here soon because I think black kids can benefit from the school. I truly, truly, truly believe that black kids can benefit from that school, and I send my best wishes to it.
The school done. It's just a matter of what we got to do to get our paperwork. You know what I mean? How hardball the city going to play. Hopefully they just, accept that we here.
And
give
let
them
it
this
ride.
permit, let them teach his kids. I don't plan on getting, because I think another issue too with them is they think I want to get involved in the politics because of my popularity.
Right.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to be no mayor of Wilmington. I won't be no city council president. I don't want nothing y'all got.
Right.
I am here for the school to teach. Leave me alone. You ain't got to worry about seeing me for nothing. I'm purely here to educate kids. You feel me? Because sometimes people start worrying about that. He coming down here from Philly. What is his true bro? I am not a politician, man. I'm a Pan-Africanist. I can do more for my people in the street than I could ever do in that office. I don't want it. You ain't got to worry about that. Just give me my school and leave me alone.
Was Charlie Kirk an enemy to black people?